Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. The previous 7 days have all traded within this narrow range here for the ES. We now are developing the 8th day here within this range. This narrow range has developed here at the highs of the month after an early pullback and rally, and we're pretty much going sideways here as this market has kind of died down just a little bit ahead of the elections here, less than 2 weeks away. We continue to see a bit of a melt up phase as well, so it's an uptrending market, especially ever since that strong rejection day there. Big squeeze sideways, another squeeze sideways, and building energy. A bit of risk off here at the moment, but still maintaining those gains overall for the month. If we take a look here at an 8-day development here, now that we're adding on the 8th day, you can see the compression here. 50% of average range, a range of just 77.25 points. 77.25 points over the last 8 days total. That's a super compressed range here. Whenever we do see expansion, it could see at least 200 points of expansion up ahead, and likely somewhere along the lines of 300 points at the very least. 300 has been very, very easy for this market to get. 200, well, 187 even right here would be the 125% target. So that could go a number of ways here. For example, given the uptrending mode here, if we break down, it could be a drop and then a continuation for 200 points off that pivot low. The other way around could be a failed high and drop into the recent midpoint down below, which would be 5,600. So again, a couple of ways this thing could go, but for right now, still building that energy, still within the range. From an intraday perspective, we've seen price continue to stay with this range, and that usually means price flowing to one direction, like down, and then flowing back up by the end of the day. Yesterday, dropping early, failed new low, and then pushing back up by the end of the day. Today could be very similar. We could be looking at this thing dropping. We have lower highs here. We could be looking at a drop into, say, 58.60. That would be just below the previous session's low here. If price can get below the previous session's low, there could be a bit of a fade back up the range here toward 58.80 or perhaps a bit beyond. So that's the early approach for the ES this morning, dropping to a new low here and then looking for a modest bounce back to the upside as this market continues to stay within this range. 58.50 is the previous week's low. If we get as low as 58.50 again, it could be a fade back up. Taking a look here at the NQ, similar price action out of the NQ, only this range here is about 11 days wide. So if we put this to 11 days here, you'll see how compressed this market has been. Look at that right there, just 484 points of range over the last 11 sessions. That takes you from basically this low here to the recent highs up above. That's your 11-day range, super compressed right now, building energy. 1,000 points would be an easy breakout move, but again, like the ES, you're likely to get something a bit beyond that, 1,500 or even as much as 2,000 points of range up ahead. This 11-day compression also kind of tacks on to the previous 10-day compression that we had here. So it's been a very, very compressed month of trading here recently for the NQ as risk off and a bit of a wait and see attitude hits the market ahead of election day in a couple of weeks. So again, building some energy up here. From an intraday perspective, again today, very similar to the ES, we have seen some early weakness followed by strength, early weakness, strength, early weakness, strength. Again, we're seeing early weakness in overnight and pre-market trading right now. Do we get a chance to go get the previous session's low? So far, it's been higher lows day over the last 5 sessions, so we may not get that low, but we could get close. If we get close, that could provide an opportunity to bounce it back toward 20,500. So again, looking for anything into the previous session's low that could be a fadeable opportunity. Previous session's low is about 360. Do we get that low? We'll see. And then we could be fading this thing back up toward 20,500. So again, keeping an eye on early pivot lows for a fade opportunity back to the upside. Looking at crude oil. Crude here, seeing a pullback day after recent strength here. This market has put in a very strong pivot high here. That's a day one high for the month of October, and could be a day one high for the entire Q4 as well. We have entered a period of seasonality here, which is very, very bearish for crude oil. Typically, you see weakness come into the market in the first 1 to 2 weeks of October, and that carries over into the middle of December. So we could have a downtrending market overall for crude oil over the next couple of months. Any pullback could be seen as a selling opportunity. Right now, pulling back here modestly for the day. Inside day at the moment, and 72s providing resistance. 72 to 72.50 is major resistance right now. A failure to get through that level, and you're opening up some downside perhaps into 66s up ahead. So again, if there's a failure to get through 72s, we could be looking at another rotation to the downside. Gold remains highly bullish. Highly bullish. Our first idea heading into the month was any pullback into the pivot range below could provide a buying opportunity toward the 2750 level. We've now gotten to 2772s as of today. These are new all-time highs. Every single day has been basically a push to new all-time highs. Here was a new all-time high, here, and again today. So day after day pushing to new all-time highs. A tremendous check mark day, which is exactly what we were looking for heading into the month. It's also what we looked for over the last couple of months. We talked about this for the September rally. We talked about this in October as well, and it's been an uptrend ever since. Now, we could see a little bit of a pullback. This could be a cycle high developing, but it's not a selling opportunity in gold. Instead, if we do see a pullback, it's a buying opportunity for another continuation to the upside until proven otherwise. Any pullback to 2680, for example, could be a buy the dip opportunity. Very, very strong in gold. Looking at the YM has also been kind of range bound here lately. We had this compression that developed right here. Great upside break. That upside break pointed to about 44,250 as the upside target, and we have a key range target here at 44,300. So basically in this zone right here is the upside target from this compression. We got an initial move that was pretty solid, but now have pulled back, trying to see if this pullback leads to another buying opportunity up ahead. Keep an eye on the previous session's low here for the day. Currently, we're seeing lower highs, lower lows day over the last few days. But keep an eye on the previous session's low here. That's 42,946. A rejection of prices below that low could open up a modest bounce back up ahead. But right now, still seeing a little bit of weakness. The key level down below, 42,800. 42,800, a big level. We could drop as deep as that and start to see rejection and maybe bounce this thing back up. A failure to hold 42.8, and you start to open up a return back toward 42,000 down below. Taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down about 1.5% at the moment. This one topped out here recently at about just shy of 70K, 69,600. This market continues to show some strength off the $60,000 level. 60K here was your FOMC key level back in September. It rallied off that level, came back to it, bounced back to it, and bounced again. 60K, a big time level here. And just really quickly, we do have a new large key range as well. Strong pivot high down to the strong pivot low, a snapback to the midpoint, which is 60,000. So pivot high, pivot low, 60K here. This gives you a super wide key range. Because of the width of this key range, which is over 20,000 points in size, we could see continued development within that range, but the upside break, should we get an upside break down the road, opens the door to a 100% target at 92K. You can see right here, 92,285 would be the 100% target of that key range, which is likely to be hit sometime over the next 1 to 2 quarters. Any pullback within the range could be defended. Even if we dropped below the key range low, there could be a trap opportunity right in here that could offer a tremendous push to 90K up above. Not saying we get down there, but if we do see those prices, it could be a tremendous trap. From a near-term perspective right now, still trending to the upside here. And again, very strong resistance at 70K. This market been trading between 70 and 60 lately. Failure to hold 66 here, and you open up a little bit more of a return to the downside. But at some point here, we're going to be keeping an eye on that key range for expansion down the road. Ethereum down 2% here today. This one has struggled to get above 2,800. 2,800 is this key level right there. 2,200 is the key level below. We've been stuck in that 600-point range for a while and could continue to trade within that 600-point range before that next expansion opportunity occurs. Once we're able to see a push through 28, it opens up the next 600 level above, which is 3,400. So right now, seeing a little bit of weakness off the top end of the range. That could lead to some more selling pressure ahead. If we do dip the toe into 2,200 or maybe even a little bit below, it could be a tremendous opportunity for a continuation to the upside longer term. So still stuck in the range until proven otherwise. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.